Well, hello, Hope Tots at home. It's lovely to see you. William is really excited to see you and to hear the next instalment in our story about creation. I'm going to put William on his story spot while you find yourself somewhere comfortable to sit. Are you ready? Watching and listening to the story. Now, first of all, have you had a go at this week's activity? If you haven't, you'll find the video on the Hope Church Newham Tots webpage or on YouTube. Do let us have a picture or tell us what you've been up to. It would be really good to see how much fun you're having with the activity. Now, what do we do here? What do we say when we see this box? What's in the box? Oh, let's give it a shake. It's a bit quiet. Shall I give it a peek? There's something broken in here. It's a plate and it's broken into pieces. It's all broken. That's because this story is about when the special friendship between Adam and Eve got broken. Before I tell you the story, let's do our God had a plan. Let's do it with big voices. God had a plan. And with quiet voices. God had a plan. Shall we see what we've got in the storybook this week? Okay, what's the first thing we find in our story bag every week? Yes, that's right, it's the Bible. God's big story of his love for us and his rescue plan. Today's story is from the very beginning of the Bible. Oh, we've got some green material here. Do you remember last week we were learning about God making a special garden where Adam and Eve lived? Do you remember how much God loved Adam and Eve? They had a perfect friendship. They were very happy and loved. What else have we got in the bag? Ooh. We got a picture of a tree. A very big picture of a tree. There were lots of trees in the garden. And God said to Adam and Eve, they could eat the fruit from any of the trees in the whole garden. Let's see what fruit they could eat. They could eat bananas and apples and grapes and figs. So much fruit. There was so much fruit they could eat. And God said to them there was one rule in the garden. One rule. Just one rule. Not a whole list of rules like we have here. Just one rule. He said they mustn't eat the fruit from one particular tree. He warned them that if they ate that fruit, it would bring sadness, tears, and death. Adam and Eve had a lovely time in the garden with God. Then one day, it all went wrong. God had an enemy. His enemy was Satan. Satan hated God. He hated the special friendship between Adam and Eve and God. He hated that they were so happy. He wanted to destroy things. He wanted to spoil God's plan. And he made himself into a snake. I'm going to put the snake there. He made himself into a slippery, slimy snake. And Satan crept up to Eve. He whispered to her, "Did God really say that you couldn't eat the fruit from that particular tree? Doesn't he love you?" Satan told her that if she ate that fruit, she would be happier than she was. And so, she picked the fruit and she took a bite. Oh no! And then Adam took the fruit and he took a bite as well. Oh no. They'd done the one thing God told them not to do. Adam and Eve, they didn't feel happier. They felt very sad. They felt very sad. They wanted to run away and hide. They found some leaves and they used those leaves to make themselves some clothes so they could hide from each other, and then they went and hid in the trees. At the end of the day, God was walking in the garden. You see his big boots. And he called out, "Adam, Eve, where are you?" Usually Adam and Eve were very happy to be talking to God. They loved walking and talking with him. But this time they were hiding in the trees and they shouted, "We were scared and we're hiding." And God said, "Did you eat the fruit from the one tree that I told you not to?" And Adam said, "Yes, Eve gave me the food. Eve gave me the fruit and I ate it." And Eve said, "I listened to the snake's lies." God was so sad. The wonderful friendship, the beautiful love, the perfect happiness was all at an end. God's plan had been spoiled. It was broken. Never again. No, men would always, after that, they would run away and hide from God. Sadness and tears and death had come. God took some fur and he used that fur to make some clothes for Adam and Eve, and they left the garden. But we've still got something in the bag. We've still got a copy of that plan we had right at the beginning, before even creation started, the plan for creation. God couldn't leave the people he had made. He couldn't leave them just alone. He couldn't leave the people he loved. God had a plan. He had a plan to rescue them, to get them back, and to get rid of sadness and tears and death. And over the next few weeks, we'll find out much more about that plan. William and I need to go now, and we'll leave you with Fiona for the God is Here time. So, bye, Hope Tots. Bye.
Hello, Tots. Did you know that God is here? God is here right now. Have you ever broken a rule or been a bit naughty? I think we all have, haven't we? Today's story was a bit sad, wasn't it? We heard about how Adam and Eve's perfect friendship with God was spoiled. And it was spoiled because they broke his one rule. Eating the fruit from the tree spoiled their friendship with God. But even though they did something wrong, God still loved them. God had a plan to rescue them. And when we do something wrong, God still loves us too. So let's say thank you to God for loving us even though we do things wrong. Dear God, thank you that you love me, not because I'm good, but because you're good. Amen.